Thank you for joining us today. I'm Sukirti Gupta, I'm your host, and today we're going to be talking about Find Your Ikigai with Ruchi Mohunta, who's a clarity coach and she helps teens and adults find their Ikigai in life. At the age of 40, which a lot of us turn to, she decided to climb the Everest Base Camp. While it definitely helped her lose weight, I think something all of us are also thinking about, it also gave her a moment for that very important time of pause to reflect on her life and where would she like to head. In short, she got her clarity, she found her Ikigai. She helps teens, she helps parents, she helps business entrepreneurs, and midlife crisis hits adults to reconnect with their purpose of being. When she's not working with adults one on one, she's often caught planning her next hike and daydreaming about dogs. She's written a book, and a little bit of a quote from that book: spirituality is not the renunciation of life, but the art of living fully. That was said by Acharya Prashant, and that's what Ruchi's book is all about. The title of the book is Orange Robes, Rolling Pin. It's a simple, practical guide to live life deeply, lovingly, and meaningfully. It's her honest endeavor to be on your side as you embark on this journey for yourself. She shares her guiding principles, and yet she stands by you as your most supportive fan. She has a lot of honors behind her. She's a psychologist, an author, a speaker, a teacher, a coach, a gratituder, and a mother. And she still calls herself a work in progress. Ruchi, a very warm welcome. We're excited to have you here.
Sukirti, thank you so much. Such a pleasure to be with you on this platform and really looking forward to an engaging and an interesting session ahead.
So are we. And so, first and foremost, I'd like to ask everyone what is it that they're looking forward to on this session? So, let us know so that we can understand what you would like to get out of it so that we can cover as much of that as possible. So, Ruchi, I would like to ask you this. You are a coach and you're a clarity coach. So, what is the biggest issue that you are seeing women facing today?
I would say that we all come from a space where we are very stuck to one identity. When we start out, we are somebody's daughter, then we get married, we become somebody's wife, then we have a child, so we become someone's mother. Very rarely are we able to detach ourselves from just one identity. And so, when one of these identities is taken away from us, and when I say taken away from us, maybe your child does not need you as much as you think they need you. You begin to feel a void in your life because you're so attached to just that one identity. We don't know how to identify ourselves with our own inner selves, and as a result of which we are looking for this external attachment to give meaning to ourselves. And that, I feel, is one of the largest reasons, or one of the biggest reasons, why women have this sense of, and I know there are men in the room as well, so this applies to men as much as it applies to women. It's not a very women centric problem, but that is exactly what I have begun to realize, that people start feeling a sense of emptiness, a sense of hollowness, because you are doing everything that is expected of you on a very robotic sense, but you really don't know, are you adding value or not? And unless we find that little value element, we are running around, we are looking for something external, whereas it all lies inside us. So that, I would say, is the biggest challenge I'm seeing in people today.
So true, so well said. Tell us a little bit about your journey and how you found your Ikigai.
Yeah. Thanks. So I've been a middle school teacher doing history and geography for almost 14 years. And I started an experiential travel company, experiential education company actually, called Nature Diaries. And I would do a lot of camps with kids outdoors because I realized that for learning to be very meaningful, it has to be experiential. And that's when I started Nature Diaries. And we were doing a lot of camps. We've done 100 plus camps all over India, all over the world. And in 2020, when the pandemic hit, that is when all outdoors stopped. So honestly, I feel that that's when the ticket outdoors stopped, and the ticket I had to cut was to travel indoors. And that's when I started introspecting a lot. And I had all these degrees because I am a very keen learner. So I was doing my master's in psychology, I was doing my mind mapping course, I was doing a whole lot of things just to keep upgrading my skills. And when the pandemic hit, that is when I realized that it's time now, because I can't do the travel outside, I need to put together something else. And I'm a voracious reader. So picking up ideas from various places, and Ikigai at that moment was, of course, instrumental as a book to help me figure things out as well. And that's when the whole thoughts of narrowing it down to what do I really want? Because you know that running around outside had stopped. I was no longer traveling from one camp to another. I was doing close to 20 days of travel in 2019. And 2020 March, it came down to zero. So now what do? Because you're restless. So it gave me that moment of pause. It gave me that moment to slow down and reflect, which is what I think a lot of us felt when the pandemic hit. And we knew that, we there were no more distractions outside. There were no malls to visit, no movies to go, no parties happening, nothing. So all that outside had stopped, which therefore gave us a little more time with ourselves. And that's when I started doing online courses. I started doing online book readings. I started doing gratitude mornings where we read Rhonda Bryan's book, Magic. I've done it more than 8 times. And we would go through the entire book. So, starting your day on a note of gratitude, all this started thanks to the pandemic. I can just say that I'm ever so grateful that we went through something like that.
It's so funny because a lot of people are reflecting and saying that because maybe life slowed down a bit also, and that slowing down was possibly required to figure out who we were and spend time maybe with ourselves.
Ourselves.
But there's so many approaches, Ruchi, and we get so confused because there's so many buzzwords out there. So why the Ikigai approach and why is it so powerful?
Yeah. So what happened was, like I wrote, when I was traveling in 2017 is when I did my Everest Base Camp. And one thing I realized was, as you keep going higher, your load has to be lesser and lesser. And that was a huge takeaway for me when I came back from there. So this question was puzzling me. Why am I doing what I'm doing? How can I make my life more meaningful? Is it all about a better car, a better house, maybe a better solitaire, more clothes, jewelry, accessories, more travel? What is this all about? So that restlessness had started. And fortunately for me, when the pandemic happened, Ikigai is a very popular book, and suddenly it became quite a rage. And I
Yes.
picked it up because I love reading. So I picked that up. And somewhere, the whole Japanese philosophy that they talk about, whether it is the ikigai methodology, or whether it is being in the here and now, which is ichigo ichi, or whether it is kaizen, which is smaller, little improvements each day, it just stuck to me. I think because Japan is closer home to us than any Western philosophy, it just became easier for me to resonate with that. And I found the whole ikigai approach extremely practical. So for anyone who picks that book up or even sees a few videos on Ikigai, you can understand what that methodology. It's very structured, and I'm going to be doing just that when we open out the session with me talking about it more. So I found it a very easy to understand and apply. And that's why it just stuck to me. And then I did the book reading of Ikigai some 3 times, and I've read it with more than 150 people, and we would read it chapter by chapter. And every single time I read it, so I've actually read that book now 4 5 times, every single time I would find new meaning in it. So that's why the love for the book and the terminology.
Well, that's fantastic. And I would love to hear from all of you how many of you have read the book or it's on your reading list. So definitely would love to hear your thoughts on that. And over to you, Ruchi.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Nita, I did all of that as well. Washing dishes, cleaning house, struggling with family also happened. So let me tell you, it was not like I was just sitting and doing my own thing. That was part and parcel of my life as well. But it's just that I took it up as an opportunity to look beyond this, because there was no more travel happening, because there were no evenings where we had to step out. There was more time available, and that's why it made it possible. But I went through all those struggles. Let me tell you that lockdown didn't spare us back here in Chennai either. So that's pretty much there. So
So
I'd
it's
like to
great to
start.
hear from a lot of the women that they're saying it's on their reading list, or some of them
Yes,
have actually read it.
yes, yes. Right, lovely. Thank you so much. Yeah. So, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about this whole word, that find my purpose, find my passion. And I personally feel that it's a slightly overrated way of looking at things, because you know what happens when you're unable to find it, you're unable to really know what is it that I want to do. It makes us feel very incomplete, and it makes us feel as if we're really missing out something big in life. So if you're having similar feelings, right, I'm going to be doing the whole methodology of Ikigai and with you, and you can do it with me right now, because it will give you a sense of direction on where we're moving. And typically what happens is, a new house can excite us for a few days, a new car can excite us, a new travel holiday, which of course we've been denied in the past 2.5 years. But all these things keep us going, right? We tend to not enjoy challenges so much. We don't want troubles in our life. We want to have a nice, smooth life going in the way that we want it planned, or going in the way that we think will be a great way forward. But that's not how we are dealt our hands. Like God, man proposes and God disposes. So I know in 2020, when I made my goals list for that year, I had a different vision altogether about how the year is going to go by. And all of us know it didn't work out that way. But what do I do in the face of adversity is what really proves whether I can move ahead or not, or what kind of a mindset that I am cultivating. So I started with this whole thing about, I had the same similar things about where am I going, what am I doing, how am I going to leave value behind, and I had the same questions. And that's when I turned to this book, Ikigai. Right now, what does Ikigai mean from a Japanese context? The Japanese are known to live the longest, right? They have the highest number of centenarians in that country. The average age of the people over there, and I'm talking healthy age of the people out there, is 75, 80, 85. And the book describes it. So Ikigai is not just about finding your purpose, but that book also talks a lot about the Japanese way of life. And trust me, it's not very far away from our Indian life. We know these things. It's just that we are not applying it so much. Like the book talks about monotasking, the book talks about meditation, the book talks about having a variety of fruits and vegetables. It talks about all these things that, we do know these things in our culture. The exercises that are mentioned in the book are very similar to what yoga and everything we know in our own country. We've just not followed it good enough. So the book is all about how to live a longer, purposeful life. I really don't know whether a longer life is something I'm really looking at, but a purposeful life is something all of us are seeking in our way. And that's when the whole book makes a lot of sense, because it does not just stop with this is how you find your purpose in life. It also tells you how to live your life purposefully. And that's what Ikigai is. Ikigai is all about, what is my reason to jump out of bed every morning? And the Japanese, even when they are 75 and 80, that granddad or that grandmom, that person's Ikigai might just be to take care of the flowers that are there on the roadside, and they look forward to that one activity. So you understand, Ikigai does not have to be some major problem solver in the world. I don't have to be doing something to contribute towards research on global warming or garbage segregation or all these big things. No, I can even find my Ikigai in very small things. Even if it means I have my own house garden, how am I going to tend to it well? How can that give me a lot of joy? That is how you find your Ikigai, or that is how simple your Ikigai can also be, right? So are you guys ready now to try out this method of finding your purpose? Are
So
you good?
give us a
Thumbs
thumbs up
up
if everybody
or
is ready.
with your pen and paper. Higher purpose, yes, yes. I see a lot of yes coming in the chat box, and I think Shikha, if it's okay, we'll take questions later, and we will be doing that. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you, Kani, for joining. So happy she's done the book reading with me, and she sent me a message today saying that I'd like to attend the session again. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for everybody who's put in their thumbs up and a yes over there. So let's start with this very simple exercise. I want you to take a pen and paper and take that page and divide it into 4 columns. Okay, so you can have a line running vertically and one running horizontally. And I'm going to tell you what you're going to put in each of those squares. Right. And even if you are unable to complete the exercise, so Sukirti, what time do I wrap up from my end?
6:45 around.
6:45. Yeah. Okay, good. So that gives us enough time. So even if I'm unable to finish all of this, you still have this methodology with you, and you can do it a little later on your own as well, right? So if you're ready with it, on the first box, right, on the first most quadrant that you have made, I want you to write down 5 things that you love to do. Okay, write down on top, I love to do. And you can just write things like, I love reading, I love gardening, I love singing, I love dancing, I love cooking, I love sitting and chatting with friends, I love Netflix, whatever you feel like it. You can write down, what do you love to do? Just start writing that, right? Think about it. Think about a few things. If you want to share something in the chat box on what you love to do, it might give ideas to others as well. So you can go ahead and do that. Singing, dancing, teaching, meeting people, whatever you love to do. So make a list of what I love to do. Yes, reading, dancing. What else? Making money. Why not? Yes. So what do I love to do? I love my work. It could be shopping. Yes, shopping, enjoying nature. I love doing that. So write down at least 4 to 5 things: coaching, mentoring, lovely, traveling. Yes, I love to do these things. Going for holidays, watching flowers bloom, playing bridge, music. Lovely. Keep it coming. Music, food. Lovely. Exercise, work, taking care of pets, cooking, planting. Lovely. Reading, baking, nature watching, helping others. How interesting. Painting, improving. Yes. Good. So this is your first quadrant, which says what I love to do, right? The second quadrant, just next to that, I want you to write down, what am I good at? What am I good at? So I love to sing, but am I really good at singing? Is that a skill set I have? Because if you have that skill set, you can definitely improve on it. But for somebody who doesn't really have a sense of rhythm, you may love singing, but you're really not good at it, and there is no scope for you to even improve on that. So what are you good at? Again, come back, and you might have words that are similar. So you may love cooking, and I'm good at cooking. It can come in both the columns, and that's fine. So what am I good at? I'm good at teaching. What else? What am I good at? I'm sure there is something you're good at. You can even be a good listener. You can be good at listening to people's problems, or you can be good at getting information from various sources on getting better. Listening, counseling, chatting, event planning, organizing, observing, teaching, listening, observing. Yes, very good. Keep it coming. Sensing if something is wrong with someone, that's a huge skill, right? So, what am I good at? Write down at least 3 to 4 things you're good at. Advising, learning new skills. Yes, lovely, lovely. Editing. Yes, very important. Analytical thinking, learning. Yes, painting. Great. Upgrading, getting connected to people, dancing. Thank you. Singing, writing poems, surgeries. Lovely. So I'm hoping that you are a doctor and you are doing surgeries. Right. Lovely. Okay. So that's your second quadrant. Your first quadrant is what do I love to do? The second quadrant is what am I good at? right? The third quadrant, what can I be paid for, right? Now, doesn't matter if you are a homemaker, because you can also be paid in kind. Now, what do I mean paid in kind? If I am very good at cooking and I love to do cooking, how do I get paid in kind? When my family members appreciate my cooking, that's being paid as well, right? And if you are in a profession, you already know. And if you have not started cooking as a profession, then this is your moment to reflect and see, can I be paid for my cooking? And it can be anything. It can be anything. You might make, because, largely you guys are from Delhi. So I'll say maybe you guys, you make the best chola bhatura in town, or you make the best rajma chawal in town. So even if it is one dish, can I be paid for it? Right? So, what can I be paid for? And put that down. Yes, organizing. So, you can be an event planner, you can work with that, create a place where you can get paid for these activities. You can be paid for your writing, you can be paid for your painting, you can be paid for your dancing, educating. Yes, absolutely. So, can you be paid for it? Communicating, teaching. Yes. Microbiology techniques. How interesting. Subset of above two quadrant. No, it's not a subset of the above. It is just another set altogether. But typically, whatever you are skilled at is also largely what you can be paid for. So there will be a coincidence, and I'll come to that. Right? Editing, content writing, yes. ENT surgeries, consulting, lovely. You can be paid for these things, right? So that's your third column. And now comes the trickiest of the lot. What does the world need? Right? And again, I'm not asking you to look at something like global warming and some big issues. Yes, kindness. How beautiful. What does the world need? It needs more happier people, kinder people, compassion, humanity, happiness. Yes, absolutely. So, what does the world need? Non judgmental people, good listeners, acceptance, sensitivity, smiling, role models. How nice. Trust. I love it. Please keep it coming. More yoga teachers. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Listening and understanding small children. Yes, the world needs that. So the world needs a lot of this. Service. Absolutely. Absolutely. Healers, tolerance, parenting. Yes, counseling and guidance. Yes, absolutely. The world leaves this. A let live policy, 100% live and let live. Yes, lovely. Good friends. Yes. So now take a pause. All right, everyone. I hope you all have written it down on the paper just while you're also chatting on the chat box. And it's not just coming on the chat box, because now is when I'm going to ask you to look at the common words in all four. I'll give you an example. When I did this exercise for myself, what do I love to do? I love being with people. What am I good at? I'm good at listening to people. So I'm good as a teacher, I'm good as a coach, I'm good as a mentor. Can I be paid for it? Yes, I can be paid for it, because I do charge for my counseling and coaching sessions. So I can be paid for it. What does the world need? The world needs more people who are listening and helping others out. So although I had written about 10 things in each, I'm also good at dancing. I'm also good at reading. But what came out as a common thread is me wanting to help people. So that becomes my ikigai. That becomes my purpose of living. So I just simplified it for myself and I said, I want to leave people better than I find them. Right? So that becomes my purpose of being. So every morning when I jump out of bed, the first intention I set for myself is, whom am I going to help today?
We apologize. She's lost her connection. She's just going to join back with her. They're having an electricity problems in Chennai right now, so she'll be joining back in just about a second. How are you doing, Ruchi?
Oh, I'm like in complete darkness, so I don't know what you guys can see.
We can
I'm so
see
sorry.
you, so go for it. Yes.
Yes, yes. But I'm hoping that it should come back quickly again. So I hope I'm not looking like a ghost to y'all
It's
in this
okay.
photo. My apologies,
We're
but
seeing the brightness in your eyes.
yeah, so that twinkle is there. Right. So when I went about to doing this, right, this is when I realized that when I wake up in the morning, it is an intention that I want to set for myself. And what is that intention that I set? How can I make things better for people around me? So, what do I wake up with? I wake up by thinking that whom am I going to make to smile today? Okay, just going to try this if this helps. Okay, oh my God, I don't know. Is this better?
Guys, is this better?
I'm just trying to do something with my phone.
Amita says yes.
Yes. Okay, all right. I'm extremely sorry about this, but I have no idea. One second. All right, I'm just going to hold this a little while here. So, is this a slightly better thing? This is quite exciting doing this like this. So, right. So, my whole purpose was to wake up in the morning and ask myself this question: how am I going to make somebody else smile today? And it's a very simple intention that I wake up with. It can be my housemaid, it can be my cook, it can be my driver, it can be the automan, it can be the vegetable vendor, it can be anyone. But am I going to do something that makes them smile? Right? And that's how I began to live my ikigai, or my purpose in life. Right? So, this is one method that you can utilize to find your ikigai. If you find this a little complicated and you go back on it and you say, Are Baba, I have to think too much. I don't know whether this is right. Can I be paid for this? Can I not be paid for this? Don't worry about it. Okay. I'm going to give you another method to find your ikigai, or to find your purpose of being. Yeah. Yeah, lovely. If we can make a husband smile, I'm sure there are ways to make your husband smile and it'll be good enough. Right. So the other way is to ask yourself, on a milestone birthday of mine, my 50th birthday, my 40th birthday, my 60th birthday, my whatever one milestone birthday, suppose I'm throwing a birthday party, right? What do I want people to speak about me? What is it that you want them to say about me? Do you want them to say, oh, she's such a fabulous cook. She's such a wonderful mother. She is somebody who is always available if I give her a call. She's there for me. So, what is it that you want people to say about you? And exactly what you want people to say about you is your purpose in life. Wow, the current's back.
The gods are with
Thank
us.
you. Thank you. I'm just going to, I think I'll just stay to my iPhone because just in case let me not switch back on this. So, what do I want people to speak about me? Actually, it's a more darker side to say, when I die, what should my obituary look like? But I don't want to take you all in that dark space, even if it is just a milestone birthday and somebody has to give a speech about you. What do you want them to speak about you? That becomes your way moving forward. And that tells you that's my ikigai in life. And it does not have to be, like I said, solving some major world problem. It can be something very simple. I want to be the best friend possible. I want to be a person who's always available for anyone's help. I want to be the best cook of Rajma Chawal in the world, right? So it can be as narrow as that. And that can help you really think about, how should I be spending my days? Does that sound good? Yeah. The world needs more people like her. Yeah, absolutely. That's what you want to write. That's the legacy you want to leave behind. That's exactly what you want people to know about you. It's quite an amazing how this whole methodology came about, because Alfred Nobel, that we know for the Nobel Peace Prize, was also instrumental in creating bombs. And it so happened that there was a false alarm about his death. and the newspaper headline read that the man who created bombs is no longer alive. And when he saw his own headlines, he was shocked. He said, "This is not how I want people to remember me as the guy who created bombs." And that's when he started working towards the Peace Prize. So, what is the headline that you want in the newspaper when you are no longer there? As a selfless and a happy person, yes, absolutely. That is what is your ikigai. That is what is your purpose in life to achieve that legacy. It is as simple as that. It does not have to be anything more complicated. Yes? Now, I'm going to leave you with one more thought on this. It is absolutely okay if you don't find your purpose in life. Take a deep breath, relax, okay? Because, like I said, words like purpose, passion have become very fashionable as well. Instead, can we now, instead of using the word purpose and passion, replace it with progress? It's a little less threatening word. Why do I say less threatening word? Because am I becoming a little better than what I was yesterday? Okay, if I lost my cool 5 times yesterday, and I threw a temper tantrum, and I got annoyed with my staff, I got annoyed with my kids, I got annoyed with my husband, I got annoyed at my workplace. Yesterday it happened 5 times. So today, can I just work towards 3 times? Can I make that little progress in life of becoming a better version of myself, which is definitely doable? Okay, if you're on a weight loss program, yesterday I probably did 30 minutes of walking. Can I make it 35 today? Can I make it 32 today? If I had 2 chapatis yesterday, can I make it 1.5 today? If I am on a weight loss program, right? I'm just saying, on these small little improvements, can I keep doing that every single day? And that also becomes my purpose in life, to become a better version of myself. Simple. You don't have to complicate it too much. Whatever I was yesterday, do I want to be a little better than that today? In the manner in which I manage my emotions, in the manner in which I probably do my cooking, or in the manner in which I'm working in a workspace, dealing with clients, dealing with family, with my exercising. If I have never done meditation, today, can I sit down and do 5 minutes of meditation? Can I just do that? So that is much more doable. And I want you to think of that, of making progress rather than getting stuck to these heavy words of my purpose, my passion, what am I doing in life? Don't do that. Just ease out on yourself. And if I may say so, just love yourself a little more today. Yeah, I love Kareena Kapoor, and my favorite is from Jab We Met. मैं अपनी favorite हूँ. So can we actually become our own favorites instead of, criticizing ourselves, condemning ourselves? I haven't done this, I haven't done that, all that. Can I just love myself a little more? Because if I love myself, I will be able to love the people around me. If I'm angry with myself, I'm going to be angry with the people around me. So passion and purpose and all this is great. But if you can't find it, relax. Make progress in just the kind of person you become. Yeah, and pamper yourself. Please do that. Go for a hair spa, go for a massage, get your nails done, whatever you want to do. Have your favorite food, have an ice cream, whatever. But love yourself a little more. Yes? So that's one thing I would say, that it's actually a myth to say that passion and purpose is the only thing that we should be looking for. Even if you're making a slight progress, it's more than enough. Does that sound good? Does that ease out a little bit for you? Yes? What would you like to say for that? Yeah? Does it make you feel a little okay? Little fine? Yeah, that felt amazing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Energizing. Yes. Yeah, if I just know I have to just get a little better than what I was yesterday, that's all I have to do. The task becomes so much less daunting, right? Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, a little reassuring. Absolutely. Yes. Nidhi, we'll just take questions in another 5 minutes, 7 minutes from now, if that's okay. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Forget the purpose, forget the passion, just make progress. That's enough. That's more than enough. Yeah? Okay. The other thing I would like you to think about is we are constantly running towards goals. We're constantly wanting to have a short term goal, a long term goal, a resolution, a this thing, a that thing. All of that is good because it's helping us make progress, and it's very measurable for us. But instead, can we concentrate on systems? Can we look at making our lives, and by systems I don't mean structure, I don't mean that having a routine and things like that only. I also mean by, can I start following certain practices on a day to day basis? So what could those practices be? Writing a gratitude journal every single morning, and just starting your day by saying three things I'm grateful for. I'm grateful I woke up. I'm grateful electricity has come back. I'm grateful 85 people are still hanging on to what I'm saying. So many things that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my house help. I'm grateful for the food I'm eating. I'm grateful for all the money I have. Whether it is internet connection, whether it is a laptop, you need money for a lot of things. Yes. So instead of working only on goals, can we shift our focus on working on our systems, working on these things, right? So having a morning routine. And what is that morning routine? A very simple routine of 20, 20, 20. 20 minutes of writing gratitude, 20 minutes of going for a walk or yoga or exercise or Zumba or whatever works for you, and 20 minutes of reading. So simplify it, absolutely. Simplify it. How do I simplify it? I start my morning with a morning ritual. I do something for my body, which is an exercise. I do something for my mind, which is reading, and no reading newspaper in the morning. It carries way too much negative energy. Even if you're fond of reading, I haven't read a newspaper in the past 9, 10 years. Yes, you heard me right. 9, 10
Me
years.
too. I get all my news on WhatsApp these
On
days.
WhatsApp. We have a university working on WhatsApp. Everybody is getting so much news, whether it's WhatsApp, whether it's Facebook, whether it's whatever. If something has to come to me, I will get it. Or if I want to know something, I will look for it. So please don't read the newspaper first thing in the morning. Read something good. There are lots of self help books that you can pick up and you can read, or listen to a podcast, listen to a video, whatever you like, but start your day with something which is energizing for your mind. That's food for your mind. Let's not start our morning with junk food for our mind, right? So that has to be a healthy, nutritional, uh, take on the morning for our mind. So
Ruchi,
20
I'm going
minutes.
to ask you one question here
Sure.
because a lot of people struggle with this because the morning time tends to become very hectic. People are
Mm.
running to work, getting the kids ready, all of this. So, how, because I know you are an expert at time management
Yes.
too. So, that's why I am asking you this
So,
question.
yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you how to do that as well. If you're waking up at 6 o'clock every morning, can you start by waking up at 5:30? I know abhi to Delhi mein sardi ho rahi hai, so I'm not going to ask you for 5:30 and all. But if you're waking up at 7, can I start waking up at 6:30? And that half an hour before I get into the mad rush, can I do that half an hour for myself? So even if you can't give yourself a 20, 20, 20, start with a 10, 10, 10. So 10 minutes of gratitude writing, 10 minutes of listening to something good, and 10 minutes of meditation. And don't worry, I have a lot of thoughts, am constantly distracted. It's all part and parcel of meditation. Our mind can never be empty. It's a proven fact. We will always have some thoughts running. But for 10 minutes, can I just sit down, just do deep breathing, and then start my day? Yeah, absolutely. It's WhatsApp University out there. So you don't need to pick up the paper. So just start by saying, whatever time I'm waking up, if you feel that this is important for you, you will start doing it. And I'm not asking you to start waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning and do meditation. I'm not saying that. Just reduce your sleep time by half an hour. Okay. And start out with that 30 minutes. But when you have that 30 minutes for yourself in the morning, you will see how in control you are of the day. You are so much more calmer and you're not rushing from one thing to the other. Yeah, waking up is a in the morning is a problem for you. Whatever time you're waking up, even if you're waking up at 9 o'clock in the morning, wake up at 8:30. That's all I'm asking. Doesn't matter whatever time you're waking up. You don't have to wake up at 5 in the morning.
Even Trisha
Yeah,
is asking this question. Any tips for waking up
yeah.
early?
So the best
Set the
tip,
alarm. Set the
yeah,
alarm and keep it far from you.
no, I would say don't even do that. Sleep early. It's as natural as that. If you want to wake up early, you need to sleep early for that. So if you're sleeping at 11:30, 12, start sleeping half an hour early. That's all. And digitally detox yourself at least for 1 hour before you go to sleep. So no watching Netflix, read something. Okay. Most of us hated history. And I'm saying this even though I'm a history teacher. Just pick up some book and you'll go to sleep in 15 minutes. I assure you. Just start reading and you will sleep early. So when you sleep early, you will be refreshed to wake up early. And like Sukriti said, that keep your alarm really far so you have to get out of bed to go and switch it off. Yes. So sleep a little early. And it all moves back to your evening routine. Try and finish your dinner by 7:30. Take a little 10-minute walk so that there's a little more digestion. Do read something before you go to sleep, because then you're bound to sleep immediately. Stay away from your WhatsApp, your social media for at least half an hour. Yeah. So once you start doing that, when you sleep early, you will wake up early. And the only thing you have to tell yourself is, I can wake up early. You have to change the language that you are talking to yourself. Rather than say that I find it very difficult to wake up early, you can change your language around, and you can say, waking up early is getting better for me. I am getting better at waking up early. Does that sound good? Yes. Lovely.
No,
So
but tell
how
us, why is this important? Yeah, that why
what
this
would be more
morning,
important? The
why
morning
is this
ritual.
the morning routine? Yes.
Yes. So this morning routine is very important for a simple reason. If you know what you have in the flights, the mask, the instruction that they give for the mask, that before you put the mask on someone else, please put the mask on yourself first. दूसरों की सहायता करने से पहले आप स्वयं का मास्क पहने. So this is your time with yourself. So before you get into your roles of being a mother, of being a cook, of getting into this, getting ready for work, running, doing all of that, can I take some time for myself and take that pause in the morning? It's very, very important. You know what they say? People who don't have time to meditate should meditate for 1 hour. People who have time to meditate, 15 minutes is enough for them. Do you get that? Yes. So when you know you don't have the time for it, it's because you are running from one activity to the other without even prioritizing your day. So when I sit down in the morning and I take that little time for myself, I am prioritizing what all I need to do for the day. So I'm starting from a space of calm rather than look at the alarm at 7:30 or look at the clock at 7:30 and jump out of bed and say, oh, I'm late for breakfast, I'm late for this. Somebody's gone into the bathroom knowing very well that I'm the one who was supposed to be going right now. The car is not starting. Somebody has blocked my driveway. You know how you are starting? You're already starting at a very high, troubled energy. The rest of your day will be troubled as well. But if you start your day just half an hour earlier with that little time for myself, and I tell myself, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to sit down with my gratitude journal. I'm just going to write 5 things I'm grateful for. Take some deep breathing. Chalo, not even half an hour. Let's make it 15 minutes. Okay, for starters. But remember what I said, progress is the key. That's not your purpose. That's not your passion. Am I just getting better with one way or the other? Yeah, regarding newspaper, there are some good articles, I agree. But can I read these news articles in the second half of the day? I'm not saying that you can't read the newspaper. I'm just saying don't start, because it's very difficult for you to skip the headlines, because the headlines are made in a manner that they catch our attention, and they will be negative lines that they are there. So whether you like it or not, your subconscious is picking these things up. So and so murdered here, so and so raped over there, so and so people killed in this thing. You might not want to read the article, but that headlines has already got into your head, right? So why do that? Why do that? Read it in the second half of the day. Choose what you want to read in details. There are some very nice articles that come up in the newspaper. Absolutely fine. But avoid these headlines, because I don't think we are skilled enough to look at the headline and say, Acha, mujhe headline nahi padna hai. It's not making any sense to me. I will not read the article. No. And there's so much to read. Choose what you want to read in the morning rather than something being sprung at you. You make a choice. I'm going to start by reading a particular book. So the choice is with you. Read it in the second half of the day. It's okay. It's absolutely fine, but not at the start of the day, right? So that's the second thing I wanted to say, that it's not about the goals that you're setting for yourself, but these systems you put in place for yourself, this morning ritual that you create for yourself. And just think of it from one way. If I get 1% better every day, and this is not my calculation, this is all research. This is very loudly spoken about in Atomic Habits by James Clear. If I'm just going to do 1% better every day, by the end of the year, I'm going to be 37% better. It's compounding of getting better, right? Don't ask me the math. I have no idea how the math happens, but I just understand that if I focus on small changes every day, one small change, can I get 1% better at whatever I'm doing? And I know that by the time it's the end of the year, I will be 37% better than what I was at the start of the year. So I'm focusing more on my systems, I'm focusing more on my progress and not just on my purpose. Yes? So those are my three takeaways, that even if you don't get your purpose and passion and everything, of course, Ikigai is a great way to move forward. And I've done that method with you. If you found something, fabulous. If not, even more beautiful, right? And why do I say that? Because progress is the key. That's all. Don't focus on your goals, focus on creating systems for yourself. And 1% better. That's all. I'm not looking at something very great. From the 1 hour, I brought it down to 30 minutes. I brought it down to 15 minutes. I
Soon you're
said,
going to say
start
5 minutes. I'm
no, I'm
waiting
not
for
going to
that.
compromise on that. I'm not going to say 5 minutes, because, I want you to have at least 5, 5, 5. 5 minutes for my body, 5 minutes for my mind, and 5 minutes for my soul. So what's my soul? For my soul, it's that meditation. If I can just sit down for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, doing nothing, there are some fabulous guided meditations that are available online on YouTube and all. Just click on to one thing. That's it. 10 minutes ke liye, just listen to that. It's not too much. But you have to think of how am I going to make that 1% progress every day? Because progress is the key, not my passion, not my purpose. If I find it, very good. If I don't find it, even better. Because then I'm in the flow. I'm still enjoying everything. I'm not getting stuck to one identity. Yes. Some guided meditations. I love the guided meditation by Vishen Lakhani. It is called the 6-phase meditation. I can type it out on the chat box right now, so you all can make a note of it. Or if Sukriti, can someone from your tech team do that? Yeah, Isha Kriya, Sadhguru, beautiful meditations. The one I love a lot is called the 6-phase meditation, and this is by Heartfulness. Yes, lots of meditations are there. Just select on one for 5 minutes. Louis Hay meditations. Yes, lots of affirmations that are there. and that's absolutely fine. Yes, I don't know whether it's Mr. CSN or Miss CSN, but yes, going higher to reduce the load. And if I may quickly just explain that in 1 second, is that okay? Yeah, thank you,
Please,
Mr.
please do.
Yeah. So what happened was, when you keep going higher and higher up in the altitude, you carry a backpack. So we used to have typically about 3 liters of water, some biscuits, some nutri bars, and we would have a whole lot of stuff inside our backpack that we had to carry. Now, as we were moving up from 16,000 to 17,000, I started realizing it's getting heavier and heavier and even more difficult. And then I asked myself, why am I carrying so much? I don't need 3 liters of water, because every 2 hours we are stopping somewhere and we can aram say, refill the water. I'm not going to have so much nutri-bar. I don't need so much of extra clothing, all of that. And that's when I realized that the higher you want to go in life, the lesser has to be your load. So I reduced my 6 kgs ka backpack to 3 kgs of backpack, and it just became so much easier for me to move up. Right. So that was the whole story, or my takeaway from the Everest Base Camp trek. And I loved it. I said, if you really want to go up in life, you have to reduce your load. That's where it comes from. Thank you so much. Which name you suggested, Sheila? I'm not sure, are you asking me or asking somebody else over this question? Meditation zone, waking up early, 5 a.m. earlier is to wake up at 11 a.m. Yeah. So name suggested as in the meditation. I'm not sure what the
The
question.
6 phase,
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
called the 6 phase meditation. Yeah, 6 phases, because it's very beautiful. He takes you through 6 phases. He makes you do gratitude, he makes you do forgiveness, he makes you do visualization for the future, he makes you do if that's where I want to be in the future, what am I going to do today? So he helps you align your day to your future self. That's why I just love the 6 phase meditation. I feel it's in one place, सारी चीजें हो जाती है एक ही बार में. Gratitude, forgiveness, visualization, affirmation, everything is done. So I love that one. Yeah. Lovely. Thank you. 6 phase meditation by Vishen Lakhani. Yeah. Right. So that's about it from my side. Ikigai, all about finding your purpose, finding your passion. Think about what would people want to do, or what would you want people to speak about you when you are no longer there, or on your milestone birthday. And if nothing works, just focus on progress. That's very, very important. And making that 1% progress every day. That's all. Nothing much. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nita, go ahead. I think you have
Yeah.
a question.
Yeah. Now we can take
Yeah.
questions. Yeah.
Hi, Ruchi.
Hi.
Yeah, my daughter, she does lots of things to please herself. And, she loves herself. She dresses up, and then, she buys what she likes to, and she takes the massages and everything.
Hmm.
So, but around her, all of us, we think that, it's not good. We think that she's just herself, and she's not, she's spending a lot of money on this and that and that. And we feel that she's, spoiling her time, and, she should be doing something else and all these things. So I'm not sure that what you're suggesting is like,
Right. Okay. So I'm going to say this to you, that there is a thin line between self-love and being narcissistic, being obsessed with yourself. What is
Right.
self-love? Self-love is when I love myself enough and I also know how to share this with the world. And what is being narcissistic or self-obsessed? I'm only thinking about myself. Right. So the
Right.
fact that she loves herself and she takes care of herself is fabulous. Please let her do that.
Absolutely.
But what you need to also make her understand is, how are you contributing and making the world a better place? That is what is important. Right. How are you going to give back? How are you going to help someone else? If you're very good at dressing up, can you dress up somebody else? Can you make somebody else feel beautiful as well?
Does. She
Yeah.
does that. Yeah, she does
And
that.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. So don't worry, as long as it is not self-obsession, right?
Yeah.
It's
Not.
not
Yeah.
narcissistic love,
Yeah.
right? And it is self-love. Why shouldn't I take care of myself? Of course, I have to take care of myself. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. She
So
does pamper me also. So for us
Yeah,
also, for father
absolutely.
also. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. So important. So just a question that Rumi has written. Sukriti, I'll just take that
yeah,
question.
and Kavita also had written a question before.
Okay, I can't
She,
see.
hers was a long time, much earlier. She says many people who lived a higher purpose had a shorter life.
Hmm,
Purpose is key.
hmm.
So I just
I
wanted
don't
to
know
hear
if
your
it's a
comments on that. And
statement
please
or
take Rumi's question also. I will
yeah.
just see.
I'll just take Rumi's question first. Can Ikigai be very personal, not lofty social ideas, but personal? Absolutely. That's exactly what I have been saying. That even if you can't find some very major social, like I want to clean up the Narmada river, or I want to clean up the Yamuna river, since you guys are mostly in Delhi, so you don't have to have some very big purpose. It can just be a personal thing of improving myself and improving the lives of people around me, right? So can I just get better at cooking? Can I just make something more willingly for my family, rather than cribbing and saying that array, now they want to have aloo paratha, just yesterday they had this. Can I not have those thoughts? Can I do it more with love? And I can only do it with love when I have filled myself up with love, and that's important. Yeah. Yes. Would you like to just repeat Kavita's question, because I'm not sure whether it's a question or
I think just a comment that a lot of people that, they had shorter lives, but when we're talking about Ikigai, we're talking about the longer life. And, so how does that both go together?
yeah.
Because
So
when we
because
see,
Ikigai, they say that people who have a purpose to live, right, in the sense that they have a reason to live every morning, and it comes from the Japanese longevity. That's where they are linking that. Why do people in Japan live longer? Because they continue to keep working till their last day, right? And they are living with a sense of doing something for the community. And on the other side, like we say, and this is a little karmic and soul kind of a thing, that if your purpose in this particular lifetime is over, right, you leave. So that's a different side of the story as well. Like when we say, if somebody dies very young, what do we say? Whatever they had come to seek as a soul in this lifetime, they've achieved it. So this we are talking more in a general sense of longevity on that. Yeah.
so Meena Kunyal is asking, sometimes I have one goal, and if I don't work, then second time I got confused. What should I do differently this time?
Yeah. So if you have a particular goal and if you feel that you haven't reached it, it's very important for you to review where you went wrong. What could I have done differently for this? For example, say I want to lose weight, right? And I've been following a particular diet or a particular exercise regime or whatever, and it does not is not really showing me the results. What do I need to do? I need to review it and say, what can I do differently? Maybe I have to bring in more core intensive exercises. Maybe I have to change what I'm eating, or the time that I'm eating something, or it's intermittent fasting. So I have to review back and ask myself, what do I do differently? Right? So it all depends upon the goal that you have, but a review is something which always helps to do it in a different way. Right?
Sapna had
I
a
hope that
comment, clarity about oneself, but as a social animal, we also work for the better of humankind.
absolutely. And honestly, that's when we are happiest, when we have something to do more than just for ourselves. And that's why the fourth question and the fourth quadrant, what does the world need? And that becomes very important. Yes. Yeah,
So
I think
Purti is asking, I'm struggling with the lack of passion. I have so many things, but that I can't do, and I don't even understand how to change myself.
I'm struggling with the lack of passion. I have so many things to do but can't do. Can you just make a list of three things, Purvi, and say I'm
Uh,
only going to work
Purti,
on
I've
these?
unmuted her so she can also further elaborate.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Purti. Go ahead. She's unmuted, but hello?
Yeah. So there are some people who want to also ask questions.
Yeah, I'm just going to,
So, so let me just answer this quickly.
yes.
So just start with three, the power of three. Forget anything else. Make a list of everything that you want to do, and out of that, pick up three. And tell yourself that I'm only going to concentrate on one task a day. When there's too much to do, we end up not doing anything. Does that happen? Itna sara kaam hai. So we are unable to just do any of that. So then make a list and say, I'm only going to work on this one thing at a time. That's about it. Nothing more. Yeah.
So, Amita also has a question, and
Question.
so
And
does
I think,
Sheila.
yeah, Sheila. So maybe Sheila can unmute.
Yeah, I'm just trying to also unmute both of them.
Yeah. Hi, Ruchi.
Hi, Sheila.
This is
Yeah.
Amita, but I'm also unmuting Sheila.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Hi,
Hi.
Amita. Yeah.
Yeah, hi, Ruchi. Wonderful
Yeah.
session. I'm enjoying everything. Thank you for this opportunity. Now, I just have a simple
Hmm.
aspect of what has happened to me. Like I've always been teaching. I've just been applying ever since pandemic came. I was out of work, and I'd been applying in the process of applying for online, and that's what I've decided to do the whole of last year. And then a friend of mine, a very close friend of mine from Hyderabad, just called me and talked to me casually, and he knew a little about my work, like I'd been applying, and he gave me some thoughts about, why don't you do it on your own? Why don't you start on your own with so much of experience? You don't need to waste this online and waiting and probably even getting few calls, but nothing seems to be coming through. And he went into depth about it. So it just took me 2 days after the call to realize the whole thing. And it was something I never dreamt, because I've had people earlier telling me, why don't you do this on your own? Okay, they were just saying it, but no one went in depth other than my friend. It just took 2 days, and now the start of this year, I'm running my venture now online.
Awesome.
And I'm a personal trainer. Yes, I'm into IELTS and communicative English. So I've just started about a week back.
Lovely.
And I put it out in our chats, in Sipping Thoughts chat. And even Sukriti has already seen it and told me to share it here on this beautiful session with you and with her as well, and with everybody. So it's just took 2 days. I can't think. Even now, it's still in my mind. I knew people were there telling, why can't you do it rather than working for somebody? And now I'm my own boss, and I have a lot of support from one of my students also is helping me design the logo. And he asked me, like, I said, fine, I appreciate support. I appreciate people who are with me. And every other day I'm planning and doing things, and because they are busy with work on the weekdays, so I have it on the weekends as of now. So I'm going with it, and I put out all my ads on all my social media, and I'm my own boss. I can't believe it. It just happened, and I feel this
And
is the
I'm
best,
so
because
happy for you.
and yeah, it's something online, no? So because I'm not going offline anymore because of this pandemic, and I took that decision. Whatever I do, I'll do online. And since my subjects were then, I was just applying the whole of last year. Even I had mentioned this in some other session also, that another one host gave me a good advice, you try something else, make a change to it. Make a change to what you have been doing, and it has worked. And I told Sukriti that, and Neeta also on this. I'm just going about with things, and
It's working out. Absolutely.
Oh yes, I pamper myself like I had given I do all of it.
So
some of the
happy for
things
you.
you have told, but some things are missing, which I've taken from you, and
That's great.
definitely.
That's great.
Thank you, Amita, for
All
sharing.
my best.
Ruchi, I wanted to ask.
Yes.
Ruchi,
Sheila,
and
go
Dr.
ahead.
and Dr. Sheila, I wanted to ask, can
Hmm.
you please share the recording, because such a beautiful session, I wanted to hear it 100 times more.
We will put the link. It's going to be on our Facebook and our YouTube page. You can go to Sipping Thoughts. It will be there.
Yeah,
Thank you
because
so
it is such a beautiful. I will
Thank-
like to listen it for 100 times, and then I will be really happy.
Oh,
Thank you
you.
so much. I feel so, that's really kind. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, dear.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Yes.
Kani is asking a question. In Ikigai, the stress is given for being in the flow. The flow is being completely immersed in the experience, not thinking or about or distracted by anything else, which is very equivalent to meditation. Can you explain this?
Yes. So one other way, and that is how it comes out in the Ikigai book, is how do I really find out what do I enjoy doing? And that's when I ask myself, what are the different activities in which I lose the sense of time? And that's my flow. Okay, so if I lose a sense of time, if I'm doing an online session, or if I lose a sense of time, if I'm just doing a long stitch, if I lose a sense of time when I'm listening to some kind of music, that's my state of flow. And that is as close to meditation as it can get. Because what is meditation? The absence of any too many thoughts at the same time, because you're immersed in just your breathing. That is meditation. And what is flow? Flow is also when you're immersed in an activity without really having a sense of time or distraction. So even if your phone's buzzing, or even if there are somebody's at the door knocking, whatever, it takes you a while to come out of that state. And that's why flow is close to meditation. Thank you, Kani. Thank you.
So Balambal Nagarajan is asking, I was in a particular line of work and in the same organization for about 20 years. For the past couple of years, I lost my passion and a sense of purpose. There's due to various reasons. I have taken a break now, but unsure how to plan my next steps. Feeling a bit low on confidence as I do not have varied experience in multiple organizations.
Okay. So, Balambal, if I may say so, the 20 years that you spent in that organization, were you happy working at that time? Right? So maybe what also happens over a period of time is that repetition has led to boredom. Maybe there is a sense of knowing your environment too well and there is no excitement. Like they say, you know, happiness is all about not getting bored. Think about it. When you're not bored, you're happy. And when you're unhappy, you're just bored. So what is it over there? Is that repetition of the task making it boring for you? Or is it because that you have not been able to feel a sense of achievement or some sense of growth? Am I not learning anything new in that? Is that what is stifling me? So you have to ask yourself that. There was a time when I was working with a particular school for almost 9 years. And then I just said, I'm very happy here, but I'm not growing. I'm not learning anything new. So whenever a stage like that comes for me in life, and trust me, I've had it a number of times, I immediately get on to learning something. Either upgrade your existing skill or get into some other kind of a managerial skill. So maybe an MBA or maybe learning some other skill set. It could also be learning a new software. Because the minute we excite ourselves with learning, we begin to start enjoying things again, right? So if you do not want to get into another line of work, ask yourself these questions. What was the real reason? Was I bored with this work because actually I did not like the work? Or was I just bored because there was no growth happening? I was not increasing or becoming better. Again, the same thing. 1% better, am I getting better? If I'm not getting better, I'm saturated. I need to push myself outside the comfort zone. So start by learning another skill and learning something else. And I'm very sure you'll start feeling that joy all over again.
So we can see, Ruchi, you're so much in the flow. One last question though from Bala. Bala, go ahead. And then we'll take your closing thoughts. Bala, go ahead.
Thank you so much for giving me this time.
I can't.
Bala, you're very faint.
Hear her. Yeah.
Am I audible now?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much for giving me this time. So basically, I'm in the field of education and I've done a lot of content development for children and teachers. The past 16, 17 years, I would say I was very happy. Though financially it wasn't very great, but I was very happy with the work. But like you rightly said, I have reached the point of saturation. I'm doing repeated tasks over and over and over again and sitting in endless meetings that is not leading me anywhere. There is no growth. But right now, financially, it's very good. And I've taken the call to quit. As in, I've taken a break. My boss is not letting me go. She's saying, you come back, you take a sabbatical. So that's where I am. I'm like in a sabbatical right now. And I told her I want to upskill myself. That's how I've left. And I'm upskilling myself. I'm also pursuing hobbies, doing personal stuff. But professionally, I feel stuck, Ruchi. I don't know what to do, because I don't want to go back to the same organization, but because without that organization, there is no identity to me. That's what I feel now. And I really don't want to go back there and be in the same thing. But right now, what do? I want to do something on my own, help parents, maybe children, but I really don't know what exactly to do, because there's so much out there in the field of education. Already people are doing so many things. So what am I going to bring in to the community? But so far, I was very satisfied with my job because of that feeling of the fulfillment of what I was giving to others, right? That is currently missing now. So I don't know where to begin. Even if I upskill myself, I don't have that confidence. I don't want to take up again same kind of full-time pressurizing jobs in corporate companies, edtech companies. No, I want to do something small, something fulfilling, but I don't know where to begin and how to go about it.
So I'll quickly take that question, and I'm not sure whether I can fully satisfy you with an answer for lack of time, but I'll try my best to do that. Go back to that column where you have written, what do you love to do and what are you good at? Okay, don't worry about the money aspect of it, because right now you're saying you're financially secure. So it's really not very important. So there might be something else altogether that you are good at and you love to do, right? And try and connect the dots for them over there. You may not want to do content development for a company, but can you start freelancing with content development? In which case, it will give you a lot more. You probably don't want to have that 9 to 5 structured approach anymore. And that's absolutely fine. In which case, look at becoming a freelancer. What happens with that is you work and you submit according to your timelines and your deadlines. You're not working under somebody with their guidance. The next step, I would say, is to become a consultant. You don't have to be a teacher only to little kids. You have had 18, 19, 20 years of content development and all of that. Can you now start grooming more people to teach them how to write content? So you need to create an entire I won't say a course really, but you need to put your thoughts together on what are my experiences? What have I been enriched with in these 18, 20 years? And then how do I put them all together and start teaching this back again to people? You don't have to go and try and teach something else. Whatever you have gathered as experience for so many years is what you need to give back. So think about, how am I going to coach more people into content? Go back to your existing company and tell them, I don't want to do content development. I want to be now at a higher level where I am going to be grooming more people below me. Does that make sense? Does that give you somewhere to start? Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe she might have dropped off. But Ruchi would love to take your closing thoughts and how to wrap up such an amazing session that you've done for us today.
Thank you. So I would say just go back with these thoughts. How do I find my Ikigai? I have a method. I can work on that method. If that method does not work, I'm going to try and write myself a legacy note. If that does not work, I just believe that purpose and passion are a little overrated. Can I just make progress? Okay. And if I make progress, I'm going to believe more on setting my systems rather than my goals. So if I'm going to work with systems, it's going to be that much more easier. And finally, 1% better each day. Can I just become a slightly better person than what I was yesterday? Right? And that will help. And there, Bala, you have Amita already reaching out to you saying contact me. So I'm sure something will come out from that. Yeah. Search now, already connected with you on LinkedIn a couple of days back. Thank you, Bala. Thank you so much for that. Yes.
And Ruchi, please do tell us, because lots of people want to know how to connect with you. Is it LinkedIn? Is it Instagram? Where is the best way to connect with you?
I am available on all three mediums. I'm still on Facebook. So I'm there on Facebook, on Instagram, as well as on LinkedIn. You can just Google and put in Ruchi Clarity Coach, and you will find my handles. So please reach out to me. Please send me messages. I may not promptly reply back, because I will reply back at my time that I have set for my communication, but I will definitely get back to you.
And Aruna is asking the much needed question. Any chance of having future sessions in another month or so? We're definitely going to. She has so many interesting topics that she does. So we would love to, of course, have Ruchi back. And we look forward to it too.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was such a pleasure. Thank you very much. It was very engaging. You guys are lovely. And I have loved my entire 1.5 hours, or almost an hour and 15 minutes with you guys. So stay safe and just believe in that little bit of progress. That's enough. That's good enough. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.